All right, I'm just going to do a few announcements. We'll start getting ready here. In terms of the BAP peer review, this is going to be incorporated as an officers roundtable in addition to that. So we're going to be meeting in the composer's room, in particularly in detail the reading room, over in the Dean Music Library. So it's going to be a large environment. We have tables and chairs there, and it's a little bit of a maze getting to it. So I'm going to post the directions on the blackboard. So if there's any questions for those of you that haven't gone into the music building, you can go in and follow the directions to get to this library. But we'll be in it. It's a really nice room. So I encourage you. I'm just going to incorporate the nominations aspect of this into this portion of my discussion. We've had kind of a lapse in interest with regards to the officers' positions and the nominations. And I'm just going to say that, as one final push here, this is an opportunity for you guys to maximize your experience here. It may seem as though you're overcommitting yourself, but I would honestly say that overcommitting is far better than undercommitting, because you could get halfway through next year and realize, wow, I had the time, I could have taken this opportunity to go into a leadership role, to put this on my resume, to get out there, network myself, test myself, push myself. Honestly, think about it one last time, and if you have any further questions about the particular details of any position, Tuesday is your opportunity to do that. All the officers will be there. This is your chance to come in and talk, and we'll be talking in general about the peer review stuff. We'll be talking in collaboration and career goals and stuff like that as well. But this will be a chance for you to look into that. So, one last time, everybody, I seriously mean this. Think about it. Consider it, because we are lacking at the moment. Okay? All right, next thing, the Admitted Student Day. We're required to have a table there, and this will be a chance for us to pitch the accounting department and the BAP to newly admitted students. The event runs from 10 to 12:30 on Saturday. We do have people signed up. However, the more the merrier. So if you are interested in coming, that is a professional point, a non-meeting professional point. I am pretty sure of that. So consider it. All right, the Admirals hockey game is March 30th. Tickets are $12. Nicole, do you want to say anything in the details? Sorry, what's that? Okay. So you can collect it up to what date, or up until the day of?
I want to get back to early so we can all sit together.
Okay. So she has to purchase tickets in the future, probably later this week. So the sooner she collects the money, the better for her in terms of keeping us as one group. Keep that in mind. All right, YouTube. Remember now, we've sent a Congress, a delegation, if you will, up to Connecticut for our regional meeting. So if you are willing to support them in their endeavors, I would encourage you to do the following. Sign up on the YouTube page that we have for ODU. So that is at youtube.com/BAP Zeta Pi, and it's all in caps. And actually, I believe it's off of Blackboard. You can get a connection to that site. But everyone should be signing up for that and promoting, because what we're doing is recording these meetings, and as a result, we want to show that we support what we're doing here. All right, next thing is the Leaders Institute. And actually, the VSCPA will be making comments to this, but I will point out that the deadline is May 4th. So if you are interested, that's something to keep in mind in terms of getting your application in. As you are all familiar with, the criteria were changed. So for any undergraduates that are graduating in 2013 or 2014, you are eligible to apply. And you must have a GPA of 3.0 or higher, and you are going to be needing a faculty recommendation. Dr. Ziegenfuss is more than happy to help you out with that. So be sure to engage him or Professor Spurrier, and I'm sure the other faculty members would be happy to talk about it with you. All right. The etiquette dinner, which has been on the announcements, is canceled. So.
We don't have confirmation on the calendar.
Okay, well, we're not completely sure, but according to the way it looks on Blackboard, it has been canceled. So I will get a further announcement out next week. If there's anybody that's really concerned or interested, I'll be sure to get that information for you. And you can always contact the CMC directly. They should be able to answer any questions you have. Like I mentioned, the nominations. If you have any other questions about the nominations, officer positions, please talk to me afterwards. And I mean that for everybody in here, okay? And then Relay for Life, be sure to sign up. That's all I have to say there. And scholarships, we've been putting on the announcements that we've been talking about the Aicpa scholarships. The VSCPA Educational Foundation has a series of scholarships. Both deadlines are April 1st. So if this is your first time realizing this, get on it. So, but yeah, be sure to take advantage of that opportunity. And the nomination deadline, by the way, is Wednesday. So you'll have Tuesday evening at the peer review to discuss things with the officers. Afterwards, we want those nominations in at the very latest on Wednesday, and you do that. You submit your nomination by emailing Jessica Plank. All right. And I believe that is all the announcements. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to announce to the chapter? All right. Well, without further ado, we have the pleasure of having Molly Wash and Brenda Fogg, and they are it's Academic Relations Director of Academic Relations and Director of Member Relations. And both of them are here to speak about the services that the VSCPA provides, specifically those services to students, and in general, the VSCPA and the support role that it plays in the accounting world, especially in the state of Virginia, of course. All right, so it's our honor to introduce both of them for our meeting today.
You inviting us to come to campus today. We love getting out with the students and talking about the VSCPA and how important it is to get involved. But sometimes at events like this, I feel like I am preaching to the choir because you've already seen the value of getting involved, and you're getting involved in Beta Alpha Psi. But I kind of support Mike at what he was saying about getting involved in a leadership role, because it really will help you later in your career. You'll get to test yourself, and we'll talk about a little bit of that in the presentation. So why are we here? Before I get going, though, just with a show of hands, how many are members of the VSCPA right now? Okay. And for those of you that didn't raise your hand, hopefully by the end of this presentation, you'll see the value of getting involved, especially since it's free. So why are we here today? We do want to talk about why it's important to build your professional relationships and the value that it's going to have for your career. Understand how the VSCPA can really be your home for that and help you develop skills and leadership opportunities moving forward. And then how really the VSCPA can be your home no matter what. The longer I stay involved with the VSCPA, it's amazing. My perception of accounting and CPAs before I started there was taxes. That's all you did. You did taxes. And it's just amazing all the ways that you can go with your accounting degree. I mean, you really are embarking on something. You're going to have an amazing career, and it's going to be challenging, it's going to be rewarding, and wow, I'm impressed with all of you who get your CPA license. So why is relationship building important? Well, businesses really run on relationships. So you want to make the right relationships and maintain those relationships. And, CPAs, the perception, or at least my perception before, was that it was all about the numbers. That's all you did, which you did the numbers. And I've really begun to learn, as I've met more CPAs, that it's much more than that. Yes, you need the technical skills. You need to know how to do the taxes, the audits, the forensic accounting piece of it. But you've got to build those relationships, because at the end of the day, you want to be the trusted advisor. That's what people are going to really come to look for you to be, that trusted advisor. And if you've got the technical piece, that's only one part of it. But if they can look to you and they're comfortable with you, they feel like you're an ethical person, you've built a great relationship with you, they feel like they really know you, you're going to be leaps and bounds ahead of somebody else who's not able to really build those relationships. So who is it important to build good relationships with? Well, really, it's everyone. Because right now, in a group setting like this, you don't know who you're sitting next to. You may be sitting next to the next managing partner of a Big Four accounting firm. you may be sitting next to the chief financial officer of a Fortune 500 company. And these relationships that you're building now will only help you as you move forward into your career. So it really is critical, especially in the accounting field, that you start building those relationships now, because the accounting world is a small world. I'll go to member events that we do, and people, they used to work together, they went to college together, and you just see these connections that have been formed 25 years ago, and they're still coming up to each other at events, talking to them, and making those connections, getting business, getting an accounting firm to come in and do their audit. So it really is amazing how I see, even at meetings now, these relationships that started so long ago. So how do you build that professional relationship? Visibility. That's key. You just have to get out there and be seen. And it really is important to begin to interact at all different levels. And then the knowing versus doing. And once again, tapping into what Mike said, doing. You need to get out there and do it, but how can you do it? Chair a committee, get an officer position. If you take on an officer role, you'll begin to interact with people across the campus community and other organizations. So that's building those networks that outside of the accounting profession that you'll need as you move forward. You definitely need strong interpersonal skills. Like I said, it's great to know the numbers. It's great to know how to do the technical piece of it, but if the people can feel like that you're really communicating with them, you're respecting them, you're ethical, you have their best interest at heart, those things are paramount to making those relationships that will go a lifetime. And then once again, plant now, harvest later.